Welcome to the Verified Unknown. We don't give you the answers, we give you the evidence and let you decide for yourself. Today, we are diving into one of the most bizarre biological mysteries on the planet. A mushroom that is sold by the pound in local markets, simmered in hot pots as a delicacy. Yet if you don't cook it long enough, it doesn't just make you sick, it makes you see them. Hundreds of tiny, pint-sized elf-like figures marching across your table, climbing your walls, and dancing just at the edge of your vision. And here is the kicker. This mushroom does not contain psilocybin. Scientists have absolutely no idea which compound is causing this, and the trip can last for up to 3 days. This is the story of Lanmaoa asiatica, the little people mushroom. Let's start with the mushroom itself. Scientifically, it's known as Lanmaoa asiatica. Locally, in Yunnan, China, it goes by a rather descriptive nickname, Jian qing, which translates to Sihan blue. Why? Because the moment you bruise or cut the flesh, it oxidizes and turns a brilliant, striking blue. This is a classic sign of a compound called variegatic acid, but we'll get back to that in a moment. In Yunnan, this mushroom is considered a high-end delicacy. It has a rich umami flavor and is commonly thrown into hot pot broths. For decades, locals have eaten it without issue. But occasionally, and I mean very specifically, tourists and inexperienced cooks make a critical mistake. If you undercook this mushroom, meaning you don't boil it for at least 15 minutes, you unlock a hallucination that is terrifyingly consistent. Clinically, this is known as a Lilliputian hallucination, named after the tiny people from Gulliver's Travels. Victims report seeing hundreds of elf-like figures standing just a few centimeters tall. They march in place, they dance on the furniture, and they climb the walls. In one documented account, a professor who experienced this said, "When I lifted the tablecloth higher, the heads of the figures came off and stuck to the bottom of the cloth, but the bodies kept marching in place. And it doesn't stop when you close your eyes. The visions persist, often projected onto the back of your eyelids." Now this is where the mystery deepens, and I need your help to spread it. If you are fascinated by the bizarre edges of mycology and the unknown, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. We dig into the evidence that mainstream science is too afraid to touch. And if you are enjoying this deep dive, please give this video a like. It genuinely helps the algorithm show this mystery to more people. All right, back to the science, or rather, the lack of it. Here is where Lanmaoa asiatica breaks all the rules of psychedelics. If you take psilocybin, the active compound in magic mushrooms, you have a trip that lasts about 4 to 6 hours, and the visuals are highly subjective. They depend on your mood, your setting, and your brain chemistry, but Lanmaoa asiatica is different. For starters, it contains 0 psilocybin. Researchers have tested this mushroom extensively. It doesn't interact with the serotonin receptors that classic psychedelics do. So, what is causing the little people? The leading hypothesis is that the culprit is a novel, undiscovered compound, and it might not even be a small molecule. Some scientists now hypothesize that the active agent could be a heat-sensitive protein. Let me explain why that matters. Small molecules like psilocybin are tough to break down. Proteins, on the other hand, are fragile. That is why heat destroys the effect. If you boil this mushroom for at least 15 minutes, the protein, or whatever this compound is, denatures and the mushroom is completely safe and delicious. But if you just flash fry it or toss it into a broth that isn't boiling hot, you ingest this mystery compound. And once it's in your system, it doesn't just last for a few hours. The reports indicate that the Lilliputian hallucinations last for an unusually long time, often between 1 and 3 days. Imagine that. 3 days of seeing tiny, headless figures marching in place. And the most unnerving part? Unlike the chaotic nature of LSD or psilocybin, the hallucinations from this mushroom are consistent. Every single person who undercooks it sees the same thing. tiny people. That suggests this unknown compound is targeting a very specific, very precise pathway in our visual processing center. The problem is, nobody knows which pathway, and nobody knows the compound. So, this leaves us with a true scientific loose end. We have a mushroom that is perfectly legal, widely eaten, and yet holds the key to a hallucinogenic compound that could completely change how we understand the human brain if we could only find it. Is the compound a fragile protein that we just haven't identified yet? Or is it something else entirely, hiding in the blue staining flesh of this bolete? The evidence shows us the effects are real, consistent, and long-lasting. The evidence shows us it isn't psilocybin, but the answer to what it actually is remains in the unknown. Here at The Verified Unknown, we don't tell you what to believe, we just lay out the evidence. Now, I want to hear from you. Sound off in the comments below. If you could identify this mystery compound, what would you name it? And more importantly, would you risk undercooking this mushroom just to see the little people for yourself? Let me know your thoughts. I read the comments and your theories might just make it into our next video. Until next time, stay curious and stay skeptical.